Hey, I'm Mark Romanack. You're watching Fishing 411. Steelhead is on the menu today. River steelhead fishing on the Big Manistee.
We'll start off with some plugs.
Starting out with plugs. Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Let it warm up a little bit before we get the bobbers out. We're just running a 30-pound braid, 16-pound leader, 3.0 mag lips, man. You can't beat them. Absolutely love these plugs. So do the steelhead. We're just running back about 40 feet behind the boat. Let that current do the work for them, working back and forth with the oars and run them down through there. Real simple, and don't get them tangled up. Let them fish come to the boat and whack them. Easy stuff, man.
I'm not sure, but I think that bait's a little fishy. Hardly any paint left on that gold flame. That's a good thing.
Just slowly dropping her back. Running them plugs back through the hole, so we're working the whole run back and forth. And every time I swing the boat a little bit, it's slowing them plugs down, speeding them up, giving a little bit different presentation. But every time I drop that oar and push that, it'll make those plugs about double in speed over here, and these ones will slow way up. And sometimes that's all it takes to get a strike.
Well, we were very fortunate to fish today with Bob Ison from Another Limit Guide Service. Bob is one of the most respected steelhead guides in the state of Michigan, and he really has the Big Manistee River wired solid. Every time we fish with him, he puts us on fish, and today was no exception. Great steelhead fishing, world class.
The first thing I like to do is at least change that back hook on just about any plug you get. These mag lips come with a pretty good hook, but these steelhead are absolute psychopaths, and a good hammered nickel hook makes a big difference.
Bob was talking about taking and changing out the treble hooks on the plugs, and I think that's a very good thing. There's a lot of cool options there. For one, you might want to consider that back treble hook. You might want to consider making it a detractor. Go with a red hook that helps attract fish in, helps generate a few more strikes. The other thing you can do is that you saw that Bob likes the wide bend style hooks. Those wide bend hooks really hook and hold very, very well. That's, some people call them wide bend, some people call them Kaylee style hooks. That's a premium hook that's going to do a good job for you. If you're looking for other high quality hooks, you can also go with round bends. They work very well. And the ultimate hook out there is something called a trocar treble hook. It is the sharpest hook that you can possibly buy. If you're looking for a hook that's going to stick fish the best, you might want to look at an Eagle Call trocar. I really enjoy this style of fishing. When a fish strikes, everything gets exciting. It goes crazy. Wow. These are powerful fish, I'm telling you. And Bob, you're hooked up with braid here. Can you fish braid all winter long, or is it you got freezing problems with this?
You got to work with it just a little bit, clean it once in a while. But when you're running plugs, you know, you're not drawing the rods in and out of the water that much. So, you know, it's very temperamental, no doubt about it. But boy, you sure can run those plugs in any speed of water.
And you feel every head shake.
Every head shake.
Every head shake.
You don't miss many bites either.
That's for sure. It just rams those hooks solid. You know, the mag lip has kind of become the plug of choice here lately. And what people don't understand about this plug, what makes it work, is it's kind of got a unique action. Yakima calls it skip beat. And what does that mean? It just means that whoa, what a beautiful fish. I think I can get him right up on the corner here for you, Bobby.
Gold flame, go figure.
Gold flame. Well, I was talking about that skip beat action. What that basically is a wandering action. This plug will be wandering, or fishing, vibrating, wobbling, doing what it's supposed to do, and for no apparent reason, it just kind of skips and darts to the side. And as fish looks at that, I think kind of like the bait's getting away, and it doesn't give them much choice in the matter. They just go crazy and they strike at it. And I think when we see this fish up here, I get him a little closer here. Tighten down on him a little bit more here. I got my hands full here. Hard to talk. There you go, Bobby. I think I got him now. Oh, man! Oh, I put just a little too much pressure at the wrong time. What did I say? There you go, Bobby. I got him. As soon as I said I got him, he's gone, just like that.
I think the first thing you said is, I'm going to put just a little more drag on that fish.
Oh, yeah, there you go. All right. Well, we got the best of him. He was going back in the river anyway. It would have been nice to hold him up for a picture, but he's going back. Well, as I was talking, talk a little bit more about these plugs. The mag lip, it's got this skip beat action. This plug is basically wobbling like this in the water. And then for no reason, what'll happen is it just kind of breaks out of sequence and it'll dart to the side and then come back in the center. As that bait is darting out to the side, that's when it gets hit and that's when the strikes occur. Not all plugs have this action. This skip beat action really gets you extra bites. There's no doubt about it. When it comes to cold water plugs, you really can't beat the mag lip.
Special considerations provided by Eagle Claw, proudly made in America since 1925. Additional considerations provided by Fishhawk Electronics. Trolling without a fishhawk is called boating.
There we go. I was just setting out the float on the center pin when we got another strike on the plug. Oh man, beautiful.
See, go out around that number 4 if you can.
I'll see if I can come up around this side here. I'm gonna see if I can't redeem myself this time. Last time I literally had that fish all the way to the boat when it came unbuckled. We'll keep the old rod tip down, we'll keep the fish in the water, and we'll see what happens here. Man, these are such powerful fish. It's incredible how much power they have. Just incredible.
I have the inside 2 rods still in, so if he gets too frisky, put it to him.
Well, we'll see what we can do here. Keep him on this side of the boat. I think we might be okay. There he goes. There we go. Get him upriver here a little bit. What a gorgeous fish, Bob.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness. These fish are incredible. Talk about making your heart pump. I don't know that it gets any better in the wintertime than this. Okay, I got him to the bead. Let's see if I can get him under control here. Oh, what a beautiful fish. What a beautiful fish. Man, I am so tickled by that. I am so tickled. That is a reward like none other in sport fishing. Oh, check that out. That's what I'm talking about right there. And this is pretty typical, right, Bob? I mean, this is not an exceptionally big or small fish. This is pretty average.
It's been pretty average this year.
Yeah.
They've been in that, 7-8 pounds and up class all season.
Just gorgeous fish. It doesn't get any prettier than that. Man, I tell you, if we could just catch these every single day, I would I'd be like I'm in heaven. What a wonderful fish. And there she goes. Like a shot. I love it. Nothing better than catching steelhead except for letting them go back. What an awesome fish. Awesome fish. One of the things to keep in mind when you're plug fishing for steelhead, it's a fairly seasonal presentation. It gets going in the fall. In early winter, it's just red hot. It's one of the best presentations. And then later in the winter, it kind of dies out a little bit. And what's happening is the water gets lower and clearer, plugs become a little bit less effective. So it's like everything else in fishing. It works, really good at some times of the year. It doesn't work quite as good at other times of the year. So if you're looking to do this, late fall throughout early winter is going to be a great time to be fishing plugs for steelhead.
Just to give you a little idea about these plugs, a lot of guys, they get a little scraped up, chipped up, they throw them out of their box and throw them away. Man, if you got a good running plug, it's a lot more about the vibration, how that plug works, than just how it looks. But a little bit of color always helps, but as you can see, this one is just about gone. We're pretty much down to plastic now, but they're still biting. Our last two fish came on this rough looking thing, so don't ever throw them out. Keep running them.
One of the things I like about plug fishing is it's a presentation that most people can learn fairly easy and they can master it. A lot of steelhead presentations are very technical and require a lot of experience to get good at. Plugging is one of those things, if you put in a little time, you will be successful, you will catch steelhead.
Little back strap, compliments of my son, being a sharpshooter with a muzzleloader.
That'll make you forget about fishing for a while. If that doesn't get your attention, I don't know what will. Wow. Back straps on the grill. Winter steelhead fishing. I love it. Woo. Yeah.
Rough living.
Special considerations provided by Bait Rigs Tackle, America's innovator of fine fishing products. Additional considerations provided by the Ultimate Sports Show Tour, Michigan's premier sports shows.
Trying to cook here.
Oh, come on. He's there.
Get back there.
He's in the other line. There we go. There he is. He's there. Well, oh baby, what a smoker this one is. What a smoking big fish this is. Unbelievable. He's trying his best to tangle every line in the boat. Man, I wasn't so sure he was there because he was running right at the boat. Bob, you're talking about most of these fish are males. Why are we seeing so many males and not so many females?
I don't have a good answer for it. I can tell you that early on, it was a ton of females. And in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, it has been males like crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't care whether they're male or female, just as long as I keep hammering these maglet plugs, and that's what's been happening today. It's been excellent action. The weather, you might not be able to tell from watching the TV, but I'm telling you what, the weather actually is really, really bad today. We're talking 35 to 50 mile an hour winds. It's just horrible. And we weren't even sure we were going to be able to fish, in all honesty. But the fishing has been very, very good. And that's indicative of steelhead fishing, is when the weather's bad, typically the fishing is very good. Winter steelhead fishing isn't for wimps, that's for sure.
That's for sure, man. It's worth getting out here, though. It's always pleasant once you're already in the boat. Let's go ahead and bring him
over the side and go down here.
There we go.
Get him out in the middle of the river where we can handle him. At one point, he made a run downstream and he got near that log jam. He could have been gone in a heartbeat. Woo! What a big fish. What a big fish. Oh, baby. Oh, my goodness. What a stud. Look at that beautiful fish. My heart's just pounding. I love steelhead. There's no question about it. Nothing in fresh water is as cool as this. Whoa! Thought maybe I had him under control for you, Bob, but he had different...
We got some serious current right here.
Oh, what a stud. The colors on these fish. Kid just can't see to turn his head. Look at that. Oh,
That's a real one, boys.
That is an amazing steelhead. I gotta tell you, how many hundreds of steelheads that I've caught in my life? That's one of the top 5 right there.
That's a good one.
That is a good steelhead. Beautiful colors, beautiful fight. Everything about it is beautiful. You just can't beat winter steelhead fishing. Wow. Wow.
Well, as rough as that plug looks, it just goes to show you, as long as you're still running good and it keeps catching fish, don't throw out those nasty looking mag lips. Oh, there it goes.
That's that same rod. It's that same plug.
Oh, lucky.
That one's working just fine.
That plug looks like it's been drugged down the road.
I think they steelhead want in the boat. They want some of that venison.
Must be. Well, I told you as soon as we get lunch going and get more stuff going, we can start catching more.
A little guy.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
You know it.
What's up with that? That's a beautiful fish, but certainly much smaller. Now, is that a resident, or is that just a small steelhead?
It kind of looks like a resident. Resident's got a ton of spots on him.
Yep, I'd say so. That looks much more like a resident to me, but that's a very nice quality fish for,
Oh yeah,
for a resident rainbow.
white tip fins.
Look how beautiful they are. That is just absolutely a gorgeous fish. You catch that one casting a spinner on 8-pound test line, you'd think that was a fish of a lifetime, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, but nothing close to what we've been catching today. Let's put it right back right here at the back of the boat. Here you go, young lady. Beautiful. Let's talk for a second about lure colors. Today is no doubt what our best color has been. The golds and the coppers have been very, very productive for us today. Metallic gold with an orange back has been just on fire. But color changes day to day and river to river. Not every one of the rivers that we fish for winter steelhead are the same colors producing fish. So essentially what you have to have is a good assortment of colors. But here on the Manistee and some of the west rivers and western Michigan rivers, it seems like the coppers and gold shades tend to be some of the best overall colors.
Additional considerations provided by ProCure, ruthlessly effective bait suds.
We'll talk a little bit about the basic setup here. Our main line is 30-pound test braid, and that's about an 8-pound diameter. And that's terminated down to a barrel swivel, and then we have about a 4 or 5-foot leader. That's 15-pound test fluorocarbon. Now, I know that sounds like pretty heavy tackle, but these are very powerful fish, and sometimes you have to be able to wrestle them, get them out of log jams, get them out of undercut banks, that type of stuff. That's a very nice setup for handling these winter steelhead.
Good Lord.
Well, I'd like to say that the weather's beautiful today. It's anything but beautiful. They were telling us that we could have as much as 50-mile-an-hour winds today. And it's hard to tell down here on the river, but we've had definitely a lot of wind today. And it has been extremely good steelhead fishing.
There's old copper pulled through for us.
Yeah, finally, finally. I guess you're persistent enough, it's gonna work. This is the first one on the copper. Come on, baby. Yeah, all right.
Well, even though we got 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds, the nastier the weather, the better these steelhead will bite. So if you can get up and get out of the house and get off the couch, this is where it's at. All right, let's let another one go. It's the best part of steelheading right here. Beautiful.
If you're going to get involved in doing this kind of fishing called plugging, you're going to want to have the right kind of gear. Bait casting tackle is definitely going to be the way to go. You're looking at a rod that's probably in that 8 to 8.5, 9 foot. You're looking at a medium light to a medium action rod is going to be ideal for you. Again, I think bait casting tackle is going to be the way to go. It gives you the power to wrestle these fish out of tight cover. Well, that last fish came out of what Bob calls frog water. What's frog water? Slow moving water is basically what that boils down to. And most plugs simply don't have any action in that type of environment. But the Maglip is unique in that regard. It has a nice wide wobble and has a good action even in slow moving water. And that's what makes it a superior plug, is because it works in slow water, medium water, and fast water.
I would say our average this year, you know, you've been in that 8, 9-pound class with a lot of 10s, 11s, 12s, but very few small fish, a lot of big males, and it's just been a great season, man. 6, 8, 10 fish a trip, and I don't think it could get much better, man. Still waiting for ice to form, so we can't go catch bluegills, so we might as well steelhead fish. Fish number 2.
Get him, Bobby.
Snag that bad boy.
Yes, sir. Let me get this out of the way for you. One down. You didn't even have all the lines in the water that time, Bob.
I know it. Making it easy on us.
So, well, it makes it a little easier for not having to clear so many lines. Well, I had 2 poles in the water.
Boy, I tell you what, it just doesn't get any better than this out, man. 30-degree weather. December, Christmas next weekend. Fish are biting.
That's a nice Christmas present right there,
It
I'm
is.
telling you. A very nice Christmas present. I better see about getting this net untangled here.
Pretty owly one here.
You earned this one. You've worked hard today. You definitely put us on some great fish. I tell you what, it's something
awesome, isn't
special
it?
about the snow and the cool air. It's hard to beat steelhead fishing at this time of year.
And we haven't seen a boat.
You know what? I never thought about that until you just mentioned it, but you're absolutely right. This absolutely have not seen another fisherman all day. The river to ourselves.
I'm guessing this one's probably going to go in that 10 class, maybe a little better.
Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Bobby, don't get much better than this.
I tell you what an awesome day.
Big fish, lots of fish, another nice buck right here.
Yep.
And I tell you what, I just don't know why more people don't do this. We literally have the river to ourselves today.
Beautiful weather, man. You just can't beat it.
The good news is this one's going back too, so you can come here and you jump on Bob's boat and you can go catch him yourself. It doesn't get any better than that.
Closed captioning is provided by Fishhawk Electronics. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, Yakima Bait, Starcraft Marine, Jay's Sporting Goods, Cisco Fishing Systems, Smooth Moves, Precision Trolling Data, Niagara Falls, USA, Motor Guide Electric Motors, and Lowrance Electronics.
I got my hands full here. Hard to talk. There you go, Bobby. I think I got him now. Oh, man! I put just a little too much pressure at the wrong time. What did I say? There you go, Bobby. I got him. As soon as I said I got him, he's gone, just like that.
I think the first thing